Should we wait a little bit for people who are connecting? Hello.
Hello.
Hi. Hello. Thomas is writing. Doesn't want to turn off the camera, but it's okay. It's okay. So should we wait a little bit? Yes. Yeah. More people are connecting. On Instagram too. So let's use the time. Could you tell me a little bit about you? What would you like to learn today? It will be very helpful for me to know it. Let's introduce each other. I will introduce myself a little bit later. Who wants to start?
I can start.
Yeah, sure.
My name is Garance. I'm from Canada. I live in Germany since 6 years. And I always felt like when I talk, my voice is not loud. Either I have to scream if I want to be heard, which I don't, obviously, but and I think I never talk very long. I always talk for like 10 seconds, 20 seconds max. I always feel also, maybe that's psychological, but I always feel like I don't want to bore people when I talk, so I don't talk long and things like that. So yeah, I would maybe like to learn how to talk in a way that I feel confident with my voice and that I can talk more than 10 seconds. Now it was too long for me already.
But can you tell me how often do you talk in public, or for what? In what kind of situation do you talk? What do
Well,
you?
actually, I work from home, so I don't talk in public a lot. However, I go to some discussion group in my village with people who have anxiety like me, and there everyone talks about their problems extensively for like 15 minutes. And when it's my turn, I just want to say like very quickly what's up with me and move on to the next person. But maybe that's more psychological, so I'm not asking you tonight to solve that problem for me, but yeah, anything with the voice can help also, I guess.
Yeah, but I think you will find the answers.
Okay,
For
thank you.
sure. Okay. Gabriela, would you like to introduce yourself? Thomas, wait, it was someone, I want to learn, Thomas is writing, I want to learn how to handle situations with voice and why. Yeah, we'll talk about it today a lot. Yes, Gabriela.
Oh, yeah, it's unmuted. Hi, I'm Gabriela. I've been living here in Germany for around 4 years, something like that. And I come from Mexico. And well, when I arrived here, I couldn't speak any German. And as soon as I could speak German, I started working. I work as an architect. And honestly, I did experience something that hadn't happened to me before while speaking in Spanish, that I feel so underconfident speaking in German that sometimes my voice does weird stuff when I'm talking. And I really want to learn to control that, because I get really nervous, because I really, I don't know, with all the articles and everything that's going on in my head while I'm speaking and trying to translate, I really need to fake a little bit of that confidence, because it would help me a lot at work. So that's really, like I was not so, I never had this kind of challenge in Spanish, but now that I struggle a bit to even now that I struggle a bit to mich auszudrücken, I need it like a little more to be able to mediate.
Yeah, we will practice this today for sure. Anyone else? Roberto, would you like to introduce yourself? everyone, you know, turns on, or many of you turns off the camera. So who wants to introduce yourself? Thomas. You.
Me.
Yes.
Okay. Hello, I'm Thomas. Yes, what can I say? I make a project for education, and I want to know about the voice, especially how to handle situations with my partners, with clients, with in different situations. And I already recognized some stuff like melody and the height and so on, and what kind of reactions the people then afterwards have. But I'm really interested in what you're talking about, this voices, and yes.
How often do you talk with your clients, or how often do you do presentations?
Clients, not so much, but with colleagues and partners. Actually, the company is starting. It's not as big, and yes.
Okay, good. I got it. Someone else? Do you want to introduce yourself?
I can say something. Sorry, my microphone was not working before because I didn't switch it on. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Okay, perfect. So I'm Roberto from Italy. I live in Munich here since 12 years almost. And yeah, I made presentation, of course. So power of communication is very important. That's why I'm interested in this training. I don't know if you're also talking about a technique to use the voice also in singing. That could be also interesting. I'm not a singer, but I do some back vocals with the band sometimes. So still important to improve. That's it. So I just want to improve my communication skill because it can for sure be improved, and yeah, that's why I'm here.
Good, thank you. Someone else, or should we start?
Yeah, maybe me. Hi, I'm Natalia.
Where is Natalia?
Natalia,
okay.
Without camera.
Yes, okay.
Yeah, I'm from Poland, and I moved to Munich last year. And I talk to the client almost every day, so I know I want to be more confident. Sometimes I am too shy or too quiet, and I know it's better when you feel, you know, confident, and you can also describe your like what you want to say, and in a good way. Yeah, that's I want to also improve this communication skills.
Okay, good, thank you. And Carl, yeah,
yes. Hi.
Introduce yourself. Hello.
I'm Carl. I live in Stuttgart, and I do some presentations sometimes at work, and I feel like when I get nervous, my voice becomes very brittle, let's say, and I would like to improve that if possible.
Okay, good. So thank you very much. Let's start, I would say. We will do a lot of exercises, and I will give you some ideas about what is the voice. And my goal for today is to show you the voice as the instrument of influence and the instrument of magic. And I will show you how it works. So what's on the plan today? I know, thank you very much for your emails, because I know that many of you said that you would like to learn how to speak confidently in terms of stage anxiety. We won't talk about any fears or stage anxiety today, but we will talk only about the voice. I'm pretty sure that you will get also some ideas how confidence and the voice are connected, and how can you improve your confidence, and how can you express the emotions of confidence through your voice. And I would like to start, we have 3 points in the programs, the magic of the voice. I would like to show you 3 different voices and discuss 3 different voices, and to show the individual characteristics of any voice. We'll talk about common challenges of the voices. Like what you all said right now, the voice is, disappears. When you're stressed, you feel the lump in the throat. And the most important thing for the voice is, of course, the breathing. We will do the diagnosis of the breathing and exercises, and I will show you why it is important to train your breath for your voice. And the most important thing is the emotions. Thomas said, for example, that you said that you noticed that intonations in the voice are pretty important when you talk. And talk not in public, but generally when you talk to a person. And I want to show you how the emotions and the voice are connected with each other, and how you can influence and understand your own emotions. Some words about me. I'm an opera singer. I'm a professional opera singer, vocal and public speaking coach. I'm on the stage as long as I remember myself. And I was singing in a big opera festivals all over Europe and Scandinavia, like, Reisbegefestspiel, Ticino Musica, Vossa Jazz in Norway. I sang with La Scala. I studied in Russia, Germany, Italy, Switzerland, and I had a lot of luck to study and to work with the greatest opera performers like Mirella Freni, Christa Ludwig, Grace Bumbry, Barbara Bonney, and many, many others. And more than 14 years, I do trainings for voice and, public speaking and acting and charisma development, communications development. And I love it a lot because I had a mixture of what I experienced as an opera singer on the stage, and I tried to make a mix for business people, because most of you, of course, you're not opera singers. You don't know how to use the voice correctly and how to use it as an influential instrument for your business achievements or career achievements. And I am an invited lecturer of Mannheim Business School, which is one of the best in Germany, also in Skolkovo Business School and Technopark. Technopark is kind of Silicon Valley in Russia, and this is a very great place. And Skolkovo Business School is also one of the best schools. I work with BASF, SAP, TA Connectivity, and many other companies. And what I'm also very proud of is that before the pandemic and COVID, I have another project which is called Creative Tech Lab. It's all about how to develop your creativity through digital devices and any kind of digital programs. And I got the grant and won competition to develop digital education in Bavaria. So I don't want to talk about me too long. Let's talk about the voice. What I prepared for you today. Here you see three different people. As Steve Jobs, an American businessman, Margaret Thatcher, British politician, and Celine Dion. Now I will show you some speeches, short speeches by them, which I would like we to discuss. Your task is to say and to hear the voice, so concentrate on the voice and try to say what kind of emotions you feel in this voice, and what can you associate with this voice. These people are very famous, you know how they look, but now listen to them, how they sound, okay? I want to play it for 2 minutes, but maybe 1 minute, and then we discuss.
I was lucky. I found what I love to do early in life. Woz and I started Apple in my parents' garage when I was 20. We worked hard.
Yeah? What is this?
Hard, and in 10 years, Apple had grown from just the two of us in a garage into a $2 billion company with over 4,000 employees. We just released our finest creation, the Macintosh, a year earlier, and I just turned 30. And then I got fired. How can you get fired from a company you started? What had been the focus of my entire adult life was gone, and it was devastating. I really didn't know what to do for a few months. I felt that I'd let the previous generation of entrepreneurs down. I was a very public failure, and I even thought about running away from the valley. But something slowly began to dawn on me. I still loved what I did.
We are going to make it or break it based on whether we can provide products to higher education and services and relationships to higher education that no one else provides. And I think we ought to spend 100% of our time thinking about that. And if we can't do that, then we ought to go broke.
Okay, can you please write me in the chat what kind of emotions you feel when you hear his voice, the voice of Steve Jobs? Determination. Yeah, what else? Enthusiasm. Yes. Optimism. Excitement. What else? Motivation, excitement, energy. Yes. What else? Self-confidence. Yes. Now let's take another voice of Margaret Thatcher.
And so I decided to start over.
I don't know why, but it's a little bit.
I love to do.
It's a little bit slow.
Churchill later recorded that his loss was one of the best investments he had ever made. I did not travel here by train, nor in the company of the President of the United States, nor did I play poker. I don't have the right kind of face for it. When my distinguished predecessor delivered his Fulton speech exactly 50 years ago, he journeyed hither by train in the company of the President of the United States. On the way, they played poker to pass the time. And the President won $75. Quite a sum in those non-inflationary times for an unemployed former Prime Minister. But in view of the historic impact of his speech on American opinion and subsequently on United States foreign policy, Sir Winston Churchill later recorded that his loss was one of the best investments he had ever made. I did not.
So let's stop. Okay, can you now write me in the chat which associations do you have with the voice of Margaret Thatcher? With British accent. Now we will listen to Canadian accent. Irony. Yes. What else? Humor. Yes. What else? Confidence. On the voice, it's a little bit boring, monoton. Sense of superiority. Yes. Dominance. What else? Any other ideas? New people? Okay, so now listen to the third voice, which is Canadian accent, Celine Dion. I don't know why it's so slow, because of the internet or what? No? No. The third voice. Now, Celine Dion.
Finally return to some kind of new normal.
Okay.
And so, for her tremendous contributions to popular music and her legendary status as an icon in the arts, it is my pleasure to present a Berklee Honorary Doctor of Music degree to Miss Celine Dion.
Good morning, everyone, and congratulations, Berklee College of Music, graduating class of 2021. Well, I really wish we could all be together to share in your joy and celebration. We're not quite there yet, and it's been difficult for everyone. But hopefully, in the months ahead, our world will finally return to some kind of new normal. In any case, I want you to know that I'm very happy for all of you on this special occasion. You've all worked so very hard to get to this day, and you've accomplished so much. And in graduating, you've earned the recognition from the finest music institution in the world. Bravo to all of you. And thank you so much for the beautiful musical tribute. To know that so many talented Berklee students joined together from all over the world to perform my songs touches my soul. You guys are amazing, and you're definitely ready, willing, and able.
Okay, so Celine Dion, what kind of voice does she have? What do you think? Tender, calm, warm voice, nice, soft. What else? Empathic, yes. Come back to mine. Humble. No. Okay, very good. Thank you very much for your work. We heard 3 different voices and 3 different accents, which are great. What is the interesting part in the voice? I want to tell you about the research of Business Speech Science Research. It's a little company in Moscow which is focused on how the voice influences the business or your career. And there are many interesting researches, and one of them is called 4 different types of voice. And the researchers showed to people who participated in this research different voices and asked them what kind of associations do people have with a particular voice. And they separated or divided voices into 4 types. Boss voice. Boss voice is a very deep and charismatic and strong voice. Usually it's a man voice because men have by the nature pretty deep voice. And all the people who heard this kind of voice, they said, oh, this person is confident. This person has a very high social level. And this person we can trust. So the boss voice is the most popular voice to get the higher career. Motivator voice. Motivator voice is not too low or not too high, it's a middle voice. And you can hear in this voice that there is this warmth. I would say that Celine Dion definitely has this motivator voice, because usually women have this motivator voice. This is middle, high, high of the voice, and it's very emotional. You can feel that the person really wants to give you some information and really, feels and empathic voice. 3rd type of voice is philosopher voice. Philosopher voice is pretty high and pretty quiet and also very pretty melodic. But the most people who participated in this research, they said that philosopher voice doesn't really sound so pleasant. So they said that it's more like unpleasant voice, and they wouldn't trust this person with this kind of voice. The 4th type of voice is voice aggressive voice. It's also pretty high voice, and this whining kind of whining voice. It sounds like a serene. Yeah, it's like a serene voice, very high and very, very strong and serene. People also didn't like this kind of voices. So the conclusion of this research is, for men voices are on a subconscious mind understands boss voice as a powerful voice and as a person with a very high social level voice. And for women is the most or better voice to get the career, to develop the business, is the voice, the motivator voice. When you really feel that the person is into it, in the, in the conversation, the person is very empathic. Did you understand what I was saying? I hope you did. You understood that there are different types of voice. And I would say that the voice we just heard, Steve Jobs, what would it be for you? What kind of voice? Boss voice, motivator voice, philosopher voice, or aggressor voice does he have? What do you think?
I would say Steve Jobs has the boss voice.
Yeah, could you write it in the chat, please?
Oh, sorry.
No problem. Motivator or philosopher? Why philosopher? Why philosopher, Colin? Why do you think? Some element of each. Melodical, middle, high. Okay. And Margaret Thatcher? What kind of voice does she have? I think that actually Steve Jobs, for me, has the motivator voice, definitely. Middle, high, and not bossy and not aggressor. I wouldn't say that he's aggressor. Boss. Margaret is boss. Boss. Okay. Little bit boss voice. Yes. Interesting. In my eyes, Margaret Thatcher sounds more like aggressor. The voice of aggressor, very straight, pretty high, very, cold, dry voice, and very high. To me personally, she sounds like aggressor. Okay. And Celine Dion, what do you say about Celine Dion? What kind of type of voice does she have? And does she have? Philosophical. Yeah. Motivator. A motivator. Yes. I also understand her voice as a voice of motivator. So I hope you understand that we pursue the voice on a subconscious level. So we really react on the sound of the voice. And this is very important because when a child is in the, in the body of the mother, the ear are developed on the 20th week. So we can already hear any kind of sounds and we can already understand which voice belongs to whom. And when the child is born, he or she, it reacts on the voice very, very much. It was so interesting for me because I was studying pedagogy and we had to do some classes with pregnant women and with women who has a child, so and from 0 to 1. And we really also did a lot of research how these babies react on different kind of instruments and voices. And we discovered that the babies really reacted on the voice the most, not only on the voice of the mother, but also generally. So it's very important how you talk with the person, not what you say, but how you say it. You want to express yourself as a boss, as a motivator, as a, philosopher or aggressor. We will train it today during the training. And also very important to know which factors influence the changes in the voice. As I already said, the age, the voice is changing through the whole life because your body is changing. The voice, the vocal cords are two little muscles which are growing and changing with your voice. And you can hear also how you sounded when you was 20, 30, 40, or 50, how your voice has been changed through all the years. The second thing, what changes your voice are the hormones, especially the endocrine gland and hormones, because they really, really influence your voice. And all the hormonal changes very much influence your voice. And psychology. For example, when you, I would say when you, or if a person is depressed, the voice sounds very monotonous. The voice sounds without any emotion and without any color. And of course, many people who have diseases, they also sound pretty monotonous, or monotonous, it's not the right word, but they sound less colorful, I would say. This is very important to know, because when you want to train your voice and you want to sound confident, you want to sound strong and powerful, you also have to know how healthy you are and how old you are, because those factors are very important to know what influences your voice in terms of your body and your health. And what are the challenges? What the most people say about voice when they come to mind trainings? So they would like to train the voice because they sound quiet, monotonous, they don't have enough endurance in the voice, they have the lump in the throat, or many of people have respiratory diseases. Hopefully you didn't have corona or chronic throat and breathing diseases. So this is the common challenges for the voice. But the thing is that if you work on your voice every day, just a little bit, you can improve all these things. And I will show you how. The motor of your voice is your breathing. Now, when you introduced yourself, you said that, or some of you said, when you feel stressed, you have this kind of lump in your throat. Why it happens? Your body reacts on every thought you think, which means when you have some negative thoughts, your body reacts. You automatically start to breathe too high. You have your, heart rate is getting up, your pulse is getting up. And when you breathe too high, your air collects here in the chest and it pressures, there is a high pressure on your larynx where the voice is, where the vocal cords are. And when you have a lot of pressure on your vocal cords, you feel the lump in your throat, which means this is a nerve spasm. Many people think, oh, I have something in my voice. I will, cough a little bit and I will drink some water and it will go away. The thing is that it not always goes away, especially in a very stressful situation when you have to talk in public. What to do? First step, to avoid these kind of unpleasant situations, you have to train your breathing. Now, let's do a diagnosis. Put one hand on your chest and another on your belly. And just do a couple of, take your breath, just take some breath and observe where the air goes. Do you breathe into the chest or do you breathe into your belly? Where does it go? Yeah, unfortunately, I cannot see most of you. Yeah. So can you write me in the chat? Where do you feel? Does it go? Belly, belly. Okay, that's great. Where else? Chest, belly. The thing is that by the nature, women breathe very high and men pretty low. But anyway, I could hear, I could see on some of you that anyway, you're breathing like that. So, which means that the body is pretty often under stress. Yeah. And many people are so used to be under stress that they don't even notice how the body reacts. And as I said, your body reacts even on a thought, on a negative thought you have. Your body immediately reacts, and that's why your voice doesn't work. But how to train it? Your task or your main task for the voice is to train the body to breathe into the belly. Now I will show you one exercise which also helps a lot when you're very stressed, when you're very nervous, very nervous. So I will count, you breathe in, and I will count until 4. You hold the breathing to 4. Then you breathe out to 8 and hold again 4. So 4, breathe in, hold, breathe out, and hold. Very important, be careful that you breathe in maximum 10% of the air you usually breathe. So it should be very little. And when you breathe out, when I count until 8, try to breathe very slow on S, so very compact. The thing is that mostly people breathe too much, and that's why you have a lot of pressure on your larynx. Yeah? To talk or to close your vocal cords, you need to use very less air. Generally, to work with the voice, you have to train your body to use less air. So now let's try to do this exercise all together. Again, put one hand on your chest and another on your belly. Try also breathe in with a relaxed jaw. Try to don't do like this, but breathe in with a relaxed jaw like this. Because there is a connection between the jaw and your belly. More relaxed is the jaw, deeper into the belly you can breathe. Most people unfortunately cannot, open the mouth at all because they're so stressed, another part of the stress is always here. Relaxed jaw and very few air. Okay, are you ready?
Shall we inspire with the mouth or with the nose when we inspire?
Better now for the training, better you breathe through the mouth.
With the mouth.
Because when you breathe through the nose, you breathe very high. Yeah, automatically.
Okay.
Now we have to train the body to breathe into the belly. Because you cannot breathe deep. It just, doesn't go physically. Okay, let's do it. So put one hand on the chest, another on the belly, and I will count. Again, I want to repeat, don't breathe too much. Breathe in slowly and maximum 10%, and breathe out very slow on S. Okay, let's try. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. I couldn't see that you were breathing out on S, or this is an S, or what is it? How can you breathe out like through? I mean, is there any hole to breathe out? I don't know. Try to breathe out on S. So the air really goes out because the voice doesn't. I mean, the voice needs space to get out. If you breathe out like this, everything is fixed. Okay, let's try again. I didn't understand the S part. Yeah, come. Not because the thing is that when you do like this, more horizontal you produce the vowels, more tension you get this in the throat. So very relaxed on S. These muscles should be relaxed, so the throat will relax too. Yeah. Yeah, okay, good. Let's try again. And be careful that what I also didn't notice or didn't see those one whom I can see, how you breathe in like this. I mean, what is with the jaw? Does it move or it doesn't move? The jaw is one of the important parts of the body to produce beautiful sound, because you always have to train your jaw to relax. Again, stress is always here. Hmm?
I think we need to kind of start. So before you start counting to 4, we know that we need to breathe in the air. Because I start to inspire to breathe in when you were already counting to 4. So
but on the first counting to 4, we breathe in.
we breathe in. We don't need to stop.
No.
Okay.
No. You
fine.
always on a cycle.
Breathe on 4 and then wait. Okay.
No, not wait. You hold.
Yeah, hold. Yeah.
So
okay.
breathe in, hold, breathe out.
Okay.
Hold. So.
Yeah. It's called. This is very important. Why we hold? We hold the diaphragm. We at the same time train the diaphragm. But I don't want to give you too much information because, you know, it's only the 5th slide. Just try to breathe in and breathe out with a relaxed jaw and not too much. Okay? Okay, let's do it one more time. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Bravi. Now was so much better. Let's do it one more time. Let's do 2 times without any break. So I count the last 4 and I start from the beginning. Which means when you do it the second time, try to breathe in even less. Even less. So train your body to use less air and very, very slow. Okay? Let's do it. Are you ready? Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe in, 2, 3, 4. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Breathe out, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hold, 2, 3, 4. Very good. How was it for you? How was it for you? Okay, say it or write it. Did you feel that you had less air? This is the most important thing for me. What I noticed that still when you breathe in, many of you, you hold it here. When you can't relax the jaw, you cannot really connect the air or you cannot really breathe into your belly. Like I had enough air. Very good. Hard to concentrate all the details. What do you mean, Con? Enough air through. Okay. I felt I had too less air. So, Gabriela, try to breathe out slowly. Maybe, you know, you breathe out too quickly, all the air. Yeah. Maybe just, guys, you breathe out too quickly. From very beginning, you have to train the body to use the air very, very, you know, safely, I would say. How to have the mouth. How to have the mouth. I didn't understand the question. How to have the mouth, how to match the breath, where to breathe to. Come, I didn't.
So it's not really a question. It's more like I was explaining like all the details that you have to keep in mind during the exercise. So,
yeah. How did it feel for you?
Otherwise, yeah. I mean, I had enough air, so it's not.
Okay, so this is how you can what you can do before you go and speak in public, because it's very important to train your body to breathe correctly for the voice, but not only, first of all, for the nerves, because the breathing is a part of the nerve system. When you breathe into the belly, you don't have the pressure on the larynx, so your voice doesn't shake and doesn't break, and you don't feel the lump into the throat. Yeah, extra air in the chest. There is no extra air, there is no lump. And when you don't have this muscle clamp, because of too much air in your chest, you don't have any diseases, because the muscles are so, fixed here. That's where many people just have a lot of diseases. And also, why it's important to train breathing? Because when you have the right belly breathing, your voice gets stronger and powerful. When you use your breathing correctly, your voice sounds confident and has enough endurance. Many people say that they cannot talk longer than 10 minutes. Why? Because the breathing doesn't work correctly. When there is the right breathing, you get this individual color of the voice. And especially if you want to train the boss voice or the motivator voice, it's very important. The first step is the breathing. Okay? Did you understand how important the breathing is for your voice?
I had a question.
Yeah, sure, please.
So usually, at least in the world of anxiety and stuff, we are told to take deep breathing to calm down. But it's the first time that I hear that we should not breathe too much. We should not take too much air. So it's actually better to not take too much air to calm down.
As I said, in terms of the voice, when you breathe too high, you build the pressure on the larynx. Larynx is this, where the vocal cords are. And when you have the pressure on the larynx, your vocal cords, they close like this, doom, doom, doom. Usually, or normally, they should close in a wave. And when they close in a wave, you feel that your voice is strong, and your voice gets strong only because of this wave. And to produce the muscle, to produce this wave, it should be very, very less air, like maximum 10%. And then your vocal cords, because are also muscles, will close very soft. But when you breathe too high and you have this pressure, they close too hard. And that's why you feel the pressure.
I have a question. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Somebody was talking.
Did you understand?
No, I just wanted to say, okay, thank you.
When you sing and perform, you also breathe in this way to keep your calm down. Is a different technique. Not when really when you are singing, but maybe when you have some pause to try to get in the between one part sang and another one. Maybe you sing in the same way. You breathe in the same way to keep your calm.
Honestly, I don't have stage anxiety. It's my job. I don't need to keep myself calm.
Okay.
I am calm. I just do my job. I always say, you go to the office, you turn on your computer. Are you nervous? People say no. Well, the same with me.
Yeah, okay, probably you're super professional. For many musicians, it's a very difficult thing to be calm when they perform. I know also professionals that they have this problem to keep them some calm and not get in tension, because that's a way to make mistake. And I don't know, it's a breathing, if you're, but okay, maybe for you it's come natural.
But if you have stage anxiety, it's a little bit different topic. Breathing is a big part to to tune your instrument. But first of all, you have to work on psychological part. Because stage anxiety, it's more about how you think and your mindset. It's a little bit different.
Okay.
So my main idea until now was that the voice is the instrument of influence. And the motor of this influence is in your breathing. And now is, for me, the most also interesting part, how emotions influence the voice. Thomas before said that he noticed that actually voice or people can speak with different, melody. This melody we usually call intonations. Why do people talk monotonously, or why do some people have the intonation in the voice? First of all, I have to say it also depends on which language you speak. It really plays a big role, because there are some languages, for example, Spanish, Italian, French, which are by the nature are very melodical. German language is less melodical, and that's why it's a little bit more difficult to understand how to work with intonations. But I, discovered how to explain what is the intonation in terms of emotions. I give you an example. You call a family member or your partner or your husband or wife, and you ask him or her, how are you? And the person says like, I'm good. You kind of, hear that the person said good, but you also could hear the sound of the voice, the intonation, and you immediately could hear that, no, actually, him or her doesn't feel good. And this is what we call emotions and intonations. So everything what you feel inside, and everything, any thought, you express through your voice. And if you are not a professional actor or actress, you express every thought without actually thinking about it. But people notice it. And I also want to tell one case. Some people come to me and say, you know what, I had an interview for a dream job. I'm perfect for this job. I have all the skills and I really wanted to have this job, but for the interview, me and my concurrent was invited and I didn't get the job. Why is it so? And then when we started training, or we start training, the person actually, doesn't express this excitement that actually, or motivation that he or she really wants to have the job. And we do understand this intonations on a subconscious level. This is very important to know, because if you want to influence people, if you want to tell a particular information, or you do negotiations, right? You always have to think about that people understand the sound of your voice on a subconscious level. And this is exactly what we will train right now. We will train how to express emotions through your voice. But before, a little bit of the theory. We have 7 basic emotions: joy, contempt, disgust, sad, anger, surprise, and fear. Only 7. But generally, we can express more than 4,000 emotions, little emotions. And here is the exercise. I took only basic emotions. And you have tongue twisters, 3 different tongue twisters with 2 different emotions: joy, completely opposite emotions, joy and anger, surprise or sad, fear or joy. And you have to say this tongue twister with these particular emotions, which means it's not necessarily to say them very quickly. This is not the goal, to say them quickly, but the goal is to express in this tongue twister these particular emotions. Okay, you have 1 minute to read all these tongue twisters and to choose one, and then we will practice it. So, who wants to start?
I just don't understand, how can I express joy and anger at the same time?
No, not in the same time.
Okay.
First you say it,
Separately.
with joy. Separately, yes. First you say it with joy, and then you say it with anger, with the emotion of anger. Who wants to start? Count, do you want to start?
Me? Sure. With joy, can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Well, you choose this one. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay, number one. Okay, can you say it again, please? Joy?
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Okay. What is anger?
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
And can you say it not so quickly?
With joy or with anger?
With joy, but not quickly.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Can you do the emotion?
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot? Yeah.
So the goal is not to say it quickly, to say
Sorry.
the emotion. Yeah?
Still with joy or?
You choose. Because
I'll go with
I cannot really hear the difference between joy and anger. It
really?
sounds like, can I cook a proper coffee?
Well, I don't know. Joy is like kind of like
what is
a
joy
bit
for you?
And
how does it feel? How does it feel, the joy for you?
It's like bouncy, I'd say, like and anger is more like like,
okay. Try again.
okay, I'll try with anger. Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
For me, it's kind of joy, you know.
Okay. Maybe I cannot do anger. I'm sorry.
But have you ever been experienced this emotion before, the anger?
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
But
can you remember it?
yeah, but it's hard to put it, I would say, on any of these sentences because like they're not really. I think tongue twisters generally sound happier in the first place.
So you're always happy. I mean, it's great.
Maybe somebody else wants to do the anger part.
Okay. So the next one. Don't smile when you try to be angry, Thomas said. Thomas, do you want to try the anger part?
Probably I can try it. Okay. Just wait a little bit.
The thing is that why I chose these tongue twisters. I do understand that they are funny, and that was also my intention, but don't concentrate on words and on meanings. Concentrate on emotion. Okay.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee cup?
Don't why it's not necessary to say it too quickly. Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot? You know, usually when I'm angry, I'm getting very slow, so everyone knows that I am getting angry.
Most of the time when I'm angry, I'm really loud.
Please, sure.
I don't know how to be angry right now. Okay, just do it.
You can start with joy, or you can take another tongue twister. Okay. You choose.
Can I cook a proper cup? Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee cup pot?
That was joy, I suppose.
That's joy, yes.
It's like you guys. I remember this Heidi, the Heidi part, or this. Try again, Thomas. Joy. Okay. Not necessarily to say it quickly. Don't say it quickly. Say it joyful. Enjoy.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Yeah, and anger.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a proper coffee pot?
And can you say it even slower? Can I cook
a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Yeah. And can you also say exactly the same without breaks between the words? Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot? Without breaks.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Yeah. Can you try it one more time?
Okay.
Try to say vocals, vowels, vocale,
Okay.
vowels a little bit longer. Because I do understand for German-speaking people, short word is a short word because it's a how in German is. But try just to say it in an acting way. Yeah, I would say.
Okay.
Not in like imagine you're on stage, because on stage we have to talk more on legato, more loudly and more longer the words.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Much better. For me it sounded. And now say it again, and with getting a little bit louder. Louder.
Can I cook a cup of pop? Blood. Warte mal kurz. Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Yeah. Did you understand the idea? Yeah. So
you mean?
The most important thing, not to say it quickly, but to say it with a big emotion. I do understand that it's a little bit harder in English, and German would be easier. But could you say it one more time? Two different emotions, joy and anger. So we could really hear through your voice that now you have the joy, you're joyful, and on another hand, you're angry. Not fast, slowly.
But first anger and after joy, because anger is much more harder.
Please.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Yeah, sounds better. And now joy. Switch.
Can I cook a proper cup of coffee in a copper coffee pot?
Very good. So who's next? Come. Actually, to be angry. Yeah. So this is the thing. Come. We don't think about the words. we focus on emotions. Yeah. Coffee pot is not the place for a good coffee. It's very logical. Okay. Who's next? Ladies.
I can try, but I'm really nervous right now.
Don't be. We are training. I mean, we are practicing, all of us. Which one do you take?
The second one.
Yes. Okay. Don't say it too. You just can read it first, and then say it with the emotion.
Don't doubt the doorbell, but differ with the dark knob. Okay. Surprise. Don't doubt the doorbell, but differ with the dark knob.
What is surprise for you? How does it feel?
Well, it has to be a bit high pitch.
No. Not. Forget about the logic. How does it feel? Because when you're surprised, you're. I'm pretty sure that when you're surprised, you don't feel like, oh, now I have to go up with my intonation because I'm surprised, right? You're just surprised. Imagine that, I don't know, something would happen. Yeah.
Okay. Don't doubt the doorbell, but differ with the dark knob.
Yeah. And can you make it bigger? Even bigger.
I don't know if I can.
Don't doubt the doorbell.
Okay. Don't doubt the doorbell, but differ with the dark knob.
Yes, you started very well. Keep the energy.
Okay.
Yeah, the energy should bloom, not go down.
All right. Sad.
Okay, can you try one more time? It's surprise.
Don't doubt the doorbell, but differ with the dark knob.
No. Sad.
Don't doubt the doorbell, but differ with the dark knob.
Very good. Now I could really feel and hear, first of all, the difference in the voice. When you said it's sad, you almost didn't have any kind of intonation. Don't dial the doorbell. Yeah. Okay. Who's next? Good surprise, of course. Who's next? Gabriela.
Oh, I can try.
We all try. Which one do you take?
I can take the last one.
Yeah.
And try with fear. The next nest will not necessarily be next to nothing.
Was it fear or was it you? You just read
it. Fear. I tried.
How does it feel? How the fear feels for you? How does it feel in the body? What kind of emotion is it? It can be that the fear is like the next nest will not necessarily be next nothing. I don't know. Is it fear or not?
Okay, I feel it like it's deeper somehow. Like I don't know how to explain it. I can try again.
Please.
The next nest, no, that doesn't sound fearful.
Imagine, first you have to imagine. How does it feel, the fear? Next nest will not necessarily be nothing.
The next nest will not necessarily be next to nothing.
Or it's well like, I don't care. I don't care. Does anyone have any kind of fear? I don't care. Try again.
The next nest, I don't know how to portray fear.
Karen says, imagine something that's really dangerous next to that nest.
Oh God. The next nest will not necessarily be next to nothing.
Okay, what is joy then?
The next nest will not necessarily be next to nothing.
Yeah, that's good. Okay, very good. Who wants to try? Natalia, Roberto, Burim? Do you want to try?
Yeah, I can try to.
Which one do you take?
I took the second one. Yeah, I think it's there. This is easier than two others, I think. So surprise.
It's not necessarily to say, now I'm saying with surprise. I mean, we have to understand it.
Yeah. Don't tap the doorbell, but differ with the dog knob. Something like that.
Can you make it even bigger? That was good. Just a little bit bigger emotion.
Don't tap the doorbell, but differ with the dog knob.
Very good. And now sad.
Don't tap the doorbell, but differ with the door knob.
Good. Okay. Very good. Thank you. Roberto.
Okay, I try the last one. The next nest. Let's start with fear. The next nest will not necessarily be next to nothing.
This is fear.
Hopefully.
It's a kind of, what's happening. What is fear for you? Have you ever experienced fear?
Oh, that's a nice question. Fear of what? Maybe fear of the future sometime, because you don't know it. So you can be optimistic and be fearful for it. But normally I don't have fear, honestly. I'm quite confident for what I'm doing, but I just I fear dark. Maybe that's human being. Alone in the dark could be. Fear if you are in some dangerous places can be. Yeah, that's fear. But normal daily life, I don't have fear, honestly. fear maybe to not, okay, fear to, the main fear I can imagine is a fear of making mistakes. But that's again, what I also talked before. And it's a kind of psychological thing. So when you are under stress or something, especially when I play tennis, when I play music, I fear to make mistake, and I make mistake.
So
as soon as the fear.
The most important thing is that you recall the emotion of fear. You should not necessarily to have it on a daily basis, but it would be great if you could be able to recall how it feels and say it with the emotion. Now the emotion is the most important.
For example, I suffer the height when so I cannot stand and close to some ravine. So in this case, I feel uncomfortable. I feel my body shake. I feel the breathing is not correct, and I'm afraid to fall down. That's the fear of height that I can. This is probably the one that I mostly suffer.
Yes.
If I go
Just try.
hiking,
Imagine it and try. Okay.
Okay. The next will not necessarily be next to nothing. So that's probably something where I fear I keep the breath. I cannot even talk because I cannot even breathe.
Okay. What is joy then?
Joy is I try. The next nest will not necessarily be next to nothing.
That's much better. Okay.
It's easier because I need to force myself to be fearful. Now I'm happy to see this great training.
But this is all about acting. Yeah. To express right emotions through your voice, to sound confident, to improve the intonation of the voice, you really have to imagine what kind of emotional information you have to, or you want to give to your listeners, to the people you communicate, because we people remember information on an emotional level, not the words, but the emotion which you give. And if you, I mean, this is just the practice. If you want to give the emotion of joy, you have to talk with the joy. You have to feel the joy. Yeah, not explain how the joy feels. Just do that.
So fear, you mean I need to make them in the feeling of having fear, not that I have fear.
Yeah.
It's more transmit the fear to them.
Yeah.
Okay. So maybe it's like the next nest will not necessarily be next to nothing.
Okay, good. I don't know, Burim, do you want to try? You're the last one.
Yeah, sure. So let's choose the second one.
Yeah.
Maybe also turn on the camera. Surprise. Don't drop the doorbell, but beat it with a doorknob.
That was surprise. That was a kind of very stable surprise.
Okay. A sad one would be, let's say, don't drop the doorbell, but different with the doorknob.
Okay, good. Thank you. So now tell me, how did it feel, this exercise for you? What did you learn now? Who wants to start? No, you can turn on the camera and say it in the camera.
For me, is forcing ourselves to act and try to emphasize more the speech, something that it doesn't come natural to me. So try to force myself to emphasize more what I'm talking in order to create some kind of feeling on the other.
Yes,
but
I understand.
It's
but
not
the
natural.
thing is that, the thing is that if you want to sound confidently, you have to feel confident. You have to experience this emotion in you and to express, and your voice automatically express the emotions. This is the main idea of this exercise. Yeah. If you want to feel confident, you have to feel it first. You have to practice your inner state of mind, your mindset, the confidence. You can be confident all the time, but still. Yeah, Thomas says to act more like nectar, to train, to feel more my feelings. Yes. The thing is that many people really have troubles to express emotions, and it's because, so often many of us heard in the childhood, don't be loud, don't say this, don't do that, don't do this and that and blah blah blah, don't. So people are used don't to express. Yeah, And that's why it's very hard for many people. It's very hard to express emotions. Okay, who wants to share the experience? How was it for you, this exercise? Did you learn anything?
I think that I learned that in my daily life, it's like if I don't allow my voice to get out of the norm, it's almost as if we're always used to talk almost the same way. And now this is super hard for me or for us because it's just out of the norm, so to say. Yeah.
But it's very important just to know when you talk in public or when you want to sound confident, start with your emotions. Because your voice immediately, even if you kind of with your body language you express that you're confident, but your voice doesn't sound confident. There is, this disbalance for your listeners. Okay? Who else wants to share? That was new, yes? I can imagine. How was it for you? What did you learn?
I guess I sound less emotional than how it feels on the inside.
What?
I did try, but it seems to not have worked.
Yeah, no, it's okay. If you feel always happy, I mean, it's great. That's fantastic. Okay, then I go ahead, or someone else would like to share experience with this exercise?
I only had the idea that maybe internally it does feel way more than what you're actually expressing. So maybe not exaggerating, but like, contrasting a little bit than what you think really sounds could help. At least for me, I learned in this exercise that even when I think I'm portraying fear, then for other people, it really can sound like this.
Yeah, it might be. It might be. Okay, and my main idea for this training was to show you that the voice is the instrument of emotion. Yeah, like now Gabriela said, maybe you feel a particular emotion, but you express it differently. So, and I want to say it one more time. If you want to sound confident, you have to feel confident. Yeah, easy to say, hard to do, but when you want to work with the voice, start with your emotions, start with your emotional intelligence, and with your body, with your breathing, and do exercises. And of course, for those one who wants to have voice training, I invite you for a free consultation to check how can I help you with your voice and how can you improve your voice. And also the questions part. Do you have any question about the ideas I shared with you today?
Do you have an exercise that we could practice, an example that we could practice alone?
You can practice everything what you learned today.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah. No questions anymore? So this is my contacts. If you want to connect, you're very welcome. And I also want to say that thank you. If you want to have the presentation, I can send you the presentation. Just write me now in the comments. I will write down to whom I should send the presentation. Who want to have the presentation? No one. Okay.
I would like the presentation. Should I write an email or?
No, just I have your email. Or yeah, not
yeah, yeah.
I would like it too. I think you can send it by email. Should be good.
Okay. Okay. So, and of course, if you want to do some donation for this training, you can do it. Okay. So guys, thank you very much for joining me today. It was very nice meeting you. I hope that I could give you some idea about what is the voice and how your voice and your emotions are connected with each other, and how can you express your confidence much, much better. Okay, thank you.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
So have a nice evening.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Too.
Thank you. Bye.
Bye.